What's up, YouTube? DJ.Magic here, and welcome to another episode of the Minnycast. And for those of you guys that are new to the channel, the Minnycast is basically a vlog slash podcast thing that we do every week on this channel, and it's basically when we just talk about a topic of interest. Either Minnie and I will do one together, or we'll do our own separately. And today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of a topic that I spoke on last week regarding building a family. And I'm just going to cover basically the circle that I have now that I would consider my family. So the people that, that I would consider, the family that I should have, but unfortunately I'm not able to. My immediate family, if for whatever reason you haven't seen the last episode, I've decided to cut them off for many reasons. And so I had to have people, I had to have my own circle that I would consider, my version of a family. I had to build that circle. And I'm going to be talking briefly today about, the people in that circle and how they ended up considered being, family to me. And so the first two individuals actually, they went to the residential high school with me, and they're very close friends. And one of them I considered to be a mentor. I really looked up to this guy. Like, back in the day, he was the one that taught me the ropes on how that residential school functioned and what to expect, and basically who would allow me to get away with certain things. Being a teenager, that's what it was all about. So he warned me on who was strict and whatnot, staff member wise. He told me who is good to talk to regarding personal problems and whatnot. He taught me, just what was what at that school. So I really looked up to him at the time, and I'm really glad that I reconnected with him today, because he's a really good person. He's a good friend and somebody that I know I could rely on for advice, and just he's intelligent, and just I would consider him like a brother. And the other individual is not far off. I mean, the other guy that went to the residential school that I mentioned, he's also like a brother to me. And he was somebody that I hung with a lot at that school. The one that I considered like a mentor, he left prior, and I didn't really get to hang out with him as much. But the one I'm speaking about right now is the one that I got to hang out with a lot. Luckily, him and I got a lot of time to chill, during high school, and him and I had similar family situations at the time, so like he understood where I was coming from, and he basically knew what building that circle meant. So him and I got along really well back in the day, and we hung out a lot. And because that residential school was really boring, he was one of the people that basically made that place fun, just hanging with him a lot and just going places. At that town, there wasn't much to do, so just he was somebody that was there to talk to a lot, and I was really grateful to have him as a friend. And for a while, we lost contact because, he didn't have social media. He lived in a really small town, and I, for whatever reason, lost his number, so there was a long period of time I didn't get to speak with him, and it was just recently that he decided to, show up on social media, so therefore I was able to get a hold of him, and we started hanging out, and quite often as of recently. So I'm really glad to be in touch with him again, because I do consider him like a brother, so I'm happy to have him in my circle. The other individual is somebody that I went to the local high school here with, and him as well is like a brother to me, because he helped me through a lot of my family ordeals, and he was there through a lot of my lows in life, and he was the one that basically just kept me in reality, like in check, basically, throughout my hardships with my family and just going through certain things. Him and I go way back and to high school, like I said, so he was there for a lot of the time. And I also lost touch with him, but him and I, started chatting again recently, and I'm really grateful for that, because him and I were also like brothers, so it would be like the four brothers. But like, I consider him as a brother because like the other two, he goes way back as well. There was a period of time where I cut people off because I had trust issues that stemmed from my family, as you would know from last episode. I went through some crazy stuff, so like, certain things happened, certain disagreements occurred. I won't get into the meat of it, but it caused me to cut a lot of people off from my social circle at the time, and that affected my relationship in a negative way. And in a nutshell, to fix it, I had to reach out to other people, socialize more, get out more, and get rid of that singular focus of just the person in my relationship. Just focusing on one thing is incredibly bad, so I'm really glad that I was able to figure out sooner rather than later. So everything's fine now, and I couldn't be more happy to rekindle the friendships that I have today, because I honestly don't know where I'd be without my circle, and I really appreciate everybody that's in it. And it taught me a new value, to life, and just the value of connectivity with people and socializing with them. It's something that I'm grateful for, because it offers a new perspective to anything in life, whether it be a problem that you're having or just anything in general. So it's that new perspective that you need sometimes, and it's there, and it's great to have friends, and it's great to have a close circle that you would consider your family. Sometimes you have to make it, and unfortunately the family we were born with just isn't for us, and when that occurs, that's what these types of circles are for. And I hope everybody learned something today. And even in the last video, this whole topic was incredibly difficult to talk about, but in the end of the day, it's worth it for me, because I don't know, it helps me release any tension I may have in that regard. Just sometimes it will bother me to think about my family, my actual family not being there, and just certain things that were done, just trust bonds that were broken. But in the end of the day, building this new circle helped me through all of that, and it helps me get by today, and I just couldn't be happier. So sometimes you have to make your own family, and when you do, if you're anything like me, you're thanking God every day that you have it. But anyways, you guys, I won't bore you with any more. But I hope I did help somebody out there, and it helped me a lot to talk about it. So thank you for listening, and be sure to check out any of the other series that we have on this channel. And until next time, DJ.Magic out.